Hi and welcome to the Psychosomatic Root Causes of Ailments. And today we will be discussing anemia. So let's just start off with what is anemia? Now anemia is defined, for example, as a decrease in our red blood cells. And it can also be defined as a lowered ability of the blood to actually carry oxygen. Now, when anemia comes on slowly, the symptoms can often be a little bit foggy and may actually also include feeling tired, weakness, shortness of breath, and also a poor ability to exercise. Almost something that can be quite very blurry in terms of the symptoms, also with chronic fatigue. Now let's also look at the psychosomatic patterns behind this condition. Now anemia can start in many ways. One way is actually due to blood loss. And you may feel that, for example, a parasitic person or circumstance that is beyond your control has almost like drained your life force out of you. You've experienced circumstances that were exhausting and traumatic, but yet you feel challenged as to how to process this tension. Stress and anger as emotional outbursts are also not tolerated in your life, and you have learned and adapted to a pattern of suppressing these deep explosive emotions, and often can actually be felt internally, almost like violent emotions that you are trying to keep a tight control over. You often also feel stuck in a fight or flight mode, and this is taking a massive toll on you emotionally, physically, and also mentally. You are allowing love to flow right out of you into your life, but not back in. You're not a good receiver from love. You're not a good receiver of support either, and often fearing that it will come with conditions and burdens. So you are tired of projecting a strong facade and creating the illusion that you are empowered when actually inside you feel like you're falling apart. You have had enough and just want an exit out of this depleting circumstances and overwhelming responsibilities that you're finding yourself in. And you are also suffocating from the demands of other people and also of your own poor personal boundaries. And you often feel that you should put other people's needs before your own. Okay, so you're draining yourself, giving the best of your mental, physical, emotional state, yet you're not allowing yourself to receive the return of that exact same energy that you're putting back out because of that fear of obligation, feeling that what does this person want from me if they allow them to actually do something for me? That is a self-esteem and a self-worth block by not allowing yourself to just sometimes receive. You also seem to find security and peace in your sleeping patterns. Now, this is the only time when you can actually escape from the circumstances and the needy people in your life. Again, that comes back to poor personal boundaries. Now, being overly loyal to people attracted the love and the acceptance that you were searching for, but it also came at a high price. Giving my power away equals love, safety, acceptance, and strength. Think about it. Now, this condition can also be related to ancestral trauma where authority actually overpowered ancestors and they didn't have the resources to fight back or to stand their ground. It's also related to circumstances where they felt they were always fighting for what they wanted. They couldn't just have it. There wasn't that self-worth and understanding and knowing that it's their birthright to often just receive. Now, points that you can start to explore and ask yourself to understand the reason as to why this medical condition is challenging you so much is that perhaps you have had enough and you want an exit out where these depleting circumstances and overwhelming responsibilities, which in most cases don't even belong to you, has just taken its toll on you and you've had enough. Now, that also begs the question, why are you in this position in the first place? What is the benefit of staying in this dynamic? Whether it's a relationship or a situation. What will change in your life if you change what you perhaps are not ready to let go of, right? So that's a self-sabotage. There's a secondary gain for you to explore. And this is not always immediately obvious. This is an unconscious, deep-seated self-secondary gain and self-sabotage for you to start looking at. Now, there's also an aspect of you that perhaps just needs to realize that your self-worth should never, ever be determined by how much you do for someone else and how much you praise or how much they praise you and accept you based on the acts and responsibilities that you take on that's theirs and not even yours. You are also suffocating from the demands of others and your own poor personal boundaries. You often feel that you should put other people's needs before your own. and you drain yourself by giving the best of your mental, physical, and emotional state. Now, it also begs the question, what's the benefit of doing that? How does it improve your quality of life by sacrificing your needs, by sacrificing your sense of peace, and by sacrificing your needs? Ultimately, there is no benefit. So look at the emotional lack that you have in your life. What is emotionally being fulfilled in you when you do make these sacrifices? Because the lack that you feel that you receive from others that they fulfill for you, you should be able to have that all on your own. Feel that for yourself. So that's already an inner journey that I invite you to immediately start, because that will already bring your sense of self and your inner power back into full force. Now, my message for you is to love yourself enough to say no. You can express your boundaries with grace and ease. You are worthy of having boundaries just as much as other people in your life. You are allowed to put your needs first. And any shame and guilt that you feel as a result of putting your needs first are only memories that are being triggered from your past. Perhaps you were only made to feel shameful of having needs because perhaps it disrupted someone else's selfish needs and agenda to have their needs met. And you no longer have to accept this pattern. I invite you now to realize that you have graduated from this old lifestyle, and it's time for you to take back your sense of self. It's time to take back that dignity and your sense of self-worth. Your needs have to be met by yourself first, as it all starts with you. Start to practice meeting your needs as well. Your life is out of balance and your body showing you that. Your life is so out of balance that the body feels overwhelmed and it doesn't even know when and where to start again to regain control of your quality of life. And you might even feel that you are kicked out of your family group or circle. Remember that you are good enough as you are, and you should never ever have to sacrifice any aspect of yourself for the sake of fitting in. And if that's the case, then you're with the wrong tribe. You should never ever have to fight for love, peace, or freedom. It is your birthright to experience these beautiful states of consciousness to its absolute fullest extent. And remember to surround yourself with healthy people and circumstances who can actually complement you as a unique individual. And also don't forget to check out my newly released Volume 2 Metaphysical Anatomy Technique, and I also just launched my brand new online healing course, so check it out. And also remember that Volume 1 is actually the mother book of Metaphysical Anatomy. That's where I actually wrote about the 679 medical conditions with the psychosomatic patterns and powerful questions that you can ask yourself to start your healing journey. And for those of you who also ask me, do you have any online healing courses that I can use along with Volume 1 and 2? Yes, I did. Check out my website. It's all there for you. Get ready and start a brand new life. Until next time.